Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another exciting Indiana co-op. This time, we're doing a little bit of a mishmash. We have our gaming with the devs that we usually do, but we're also pulling in a little bit of our dev story here, because we're joined today by a very unique development team. We have Michael Miggs Maglacio and his lovely wife, Lisa Walkaz Maglacio. Thank you guys both for joining us.
Hey,
Hi.
thanks for
Hi!
having us.
Virtually hi.
Yeah,
So yeah, like I said, you guys have a very unique story here about developing this game that we're looking at today, Astral Breakers. It's a game that's out currently for the PC, but is headed to Wii U this summer.
yep.
And just interested in hearing about how you guys kind of started working on all this and how the union of husband and wife development team came about, and hearing your story.
Yeah. Okay. So I love puzzle games. Kind of a fan of games like Dr. Mario. I played that all the time on the NES. I love Puyo Pop and Super Puzzle Fighter. I played way too many hours of. So I kind of got good at puzzle games. And when we were looking at making a game, I was like, puzzle games are something I want to do. And Megs, you kind of had a affinity towards puzzle games as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We had Puzzle Fighter nights, way too many of them, and I'm a huge Capcom fan too. I'm an esports writer, so I love anything and everything related to puzzle games as well. So it was a good fit.
So there's all this stuff behind what character you actually pick in our puzzle game, and that is called a drop pattern and a drop intensity. And you can see when I pick Scorpio, I have a drop pattern that happens to have two colors. So that means I'm going to drop only two colors when I'm attacking him in the gameplay.
Yep.
Which in turn could be really good for him because if he gets any of those two colors to break, he's going to send it right back to me. So I don't know, maybe we should explain some of the gameplay.
Yeah. Let's go into a match.
You can see Gemini's drop pattern's a lot more different colors, so he might be in a better position.
Except for the intensity smaller, so the more complicated the pattern is, the less you drop.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like Super Puzzle Fighter, where each character that you chose had their own little special thing when you got the combos going.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
So,
And she's Dan.
no. Okay, so this is like most other puzzle games. You got kind of a back and forth, and you drop on the gameplay, but it's not dropping incrementally. You have to
No,
just press the
you
button to
deploy.
drop.
Yeah, you drop.
And then they have this little like glowy thing we've got here, and we turn that into a breaker. And then when we hit the same color with that breaker, we go boom, and it goes on his side.
Right. So every 3 approximately drops, you'll get a chance to use another breaker. And you
Okay.
can save it up too. So like this blue one here, I could just drop a normal sphere and then, oh hey, look, it's a purple. I can turn that into a breaker. Boom.
So you can save those up. So I see you have the display for the next, what's going to happen next. So you have the chance to drop a breaker, but you say, okay, I'm going to wait because the next thing I see is something I actually want to drop, so I can get a chain or a combo going.
We've really missed having good cooperative competitive puzzle games available. I mean, Puyo Puyo Tetris came out last year and of course didn't get localized. So we feel like we're filling a little bit of a gap.
Yeah, no kidding. That I saw that game and I was just like, why is this? Why is there not a crazy fish Puyo thing in my life?
Yeah, I love those games, and that's like we were saying.
Yep.
We just want to bring that two people together and play that type of gameplay. But that's the competitive mode,
Right.
which is really fun. You have a lot of adrenaline going through, and I'm gonna beat you kind of feeling. But we also have a cooperative mode we like to call Supernova, and it's the same type of gameplay. We'll pick. Oh, go for it. Same type of gameplay, except you're not fighting against each other. You're fighting against that thing in the center of the screen who is getting bigger and bigger called a supernova. And it's about to go supernova on you.
And when it does, stuff drops on both sides.
Yep. So
Okay.
this is gonna. Oh, and that's a big old noise. And the point of this mode is to survive as many supernovas, and you've got a timer there. Survive as long as you can, and you survive by breaking stuff.
Yeah. You can see when you break things, the trail will go into the center
So
and
I'm gonna
slow
break-
down the supernova.
I'm gonna break something, and it goes into the center and like pauses it.
Yep.
And
So
the
we can
little
set-
numbers, so that's time, right? So you basically
Time.
you're
Yep.
going for how long you can survive against it. Okay.
It's survival.
So is there any way for one player to assist the other player at all? Like if they've got something that they can share, like a breaker or something like that, or is this just each side's playing their own?
What we've found is that it's a good idea to kind of go back and forth, kind of talk to each other and say, I'm going to combo now, then you, like back and forth. Because that way
Oh,
the
I
supernova
missed
will
it.
stay. Oh no.
We both missed it.
Yeah, it's hard to play and talk at once. You can multitask better than I can, but
So that way you kind of work on setting stuff up so that as one person
you
is
keep
getting
that
more
thing-
stuff
yeah.
in.
Ready for it.
go.
Okay.
I have to
Now stay
somehow
alive. Stay alive.
keep myself out of this mess.
You gotta break some stuff. You gotta stay alive. Crap.
You know I'm not good at it.
Ah!
So that's very interesting. That definitely puts a different spin on it as opposed to just everybody go ahead and play and do whatever you can as quickly as you can.
Yep.
Which is to some degree how a lot of the competitive side is played. Obviously you want to set stuff up, but it's faster for whoever can go the fastest and get that thing done. There's more deliberateness to this. You want people to be communicating with their partner. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we got a good combined score. We did pretty good.
We did okay. All right, so one last thing we wanted to show you that kind of differentiates Astral Burgers from the competition is called Custom Zodi. So if we go in here,
I like that. Okay.
yeah, you can actually draw your own constellations, and based on what you name them and how you draw them, the drop pattern and drop intensity will change.
So you can do both. You can draw and name. All right.
Yep.
So I made a high-tempered kitty.
Okay.
Meg's made a confused gamer.
And you can see the drop pattern and drop intensity are a little different.
And you get these stars from playing the game in our story mode and our versus mode and our free play mode.
Yep.
And then when you allocate these stars by achieving something like a high score or other various ways.
Yeah, little achievements.
Unknown at this point. A few
Yeah.
of them I want to keep them secret.
Little secret.
Then you get these stars, and then you can make a new custom zodiac. So I don't know what to make. We'll make a box. I don't know. And then
Oh, okay, that's
basically
cool. So then the stars
And then
determine.
change the name.
And then we're a skillful warrior. We can be a bashful warrior. You can see the patterns change when we change that. Yep. And the more stars you use, I don't know,
The
just
more
making
complicated the pattern
yeah,
can
the
become.
more complicated. You can just do kind of crazy shapes. I don't know.
Yep.
Just making some crazy stuff up.
That's. I'm sure as the Greeks would stare
It's
up
a
to the sky and look at that, they'd definitely say that's a shy clown.
Sure.
If there was a turtle in here, I don't know. A toad, that works. Something. But yeah, there'll be lots of different shapes that you can make. Like you saw, my cat actually looked like a cat because it wasn't on the spot. I was trying to make something.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you can get kind of creative on this. And then when you save them, you can play each other against them. So
Or with them. You can use
Yeah.
them in any mode of Astral Breakers.
Oh, that's great. So you get your little zodiac there in the background that you can see the design.
Yep. And our patterns are based off of the custom pattern that we created.
So as that goes and drops, then yeah, it's going to be the ones I was at. That's really cool.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, that's definitely not.
Oops.
And that's the part of it. Yeah, from a non-co-op perspective, but certainly from a competitive perspective, I can definitely see that would be really interesting for different people to go in and play against, and they've gone through and designed, figured out exactly the drop pattern that they want.
Yeah,
You-
we're
you
hoping
can
people
also-
mess with it.
Yeah, you can also use this in the supernova mode as well.
Yep.
And it will, the supernova mode, instead of hurling it to your opponent, it's what the supernova will drop on you.
Yeah, so your
Oh.
pattern is actually what gets reflected back at you
Yeah.
by the super.
Oh, very interesting.
Yep.
Yep. So there's still that same strategy to use, it's just in a different way.
Oh, that's great. So you guys were talking about how you worked on this together, and the ideas kind of came from the both of you. And it's interesting now having that conversation to see exactly how these get kind of reflected. But I'm sure during the way, as part of that, there was not always seen eye to eye.
Conflict? Yeah.
And my wife, when I was telling her, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to interview this husband-wife team about it." She's like, "You got to find out how they did that."
Well, there's differences in making a game. There's the game design, there's the actual like programming, music, art. All those things have different ideas
Right.
behind them. And the good thing is that I will be doing like the music and the art and the programming, and then the actual like design and how to sell it and doing the production side is somewhat on you as well.
Mostly me.
Yep.
We're both trained programmers, but only one of us is full-time right now on the game. So we've kind of divided up duties. So that's made it a little bit easier and kind of mitigated some of the friction that could potentially happen. But that's not to say we haven't had our interesting disagreements.
And I would imagine with a game like this, you just have the perfect opportunity to say, "We're going to settle it in the game."
No. 'Cause
No.
I'll lose that every time.
Yeah, let's do that. A lot of it comes from going back to our, demographic of who we want playing the game. And like I said,
Our histories as gamers are a little different.
we want two people playing this game. We think that's probably the most fun you'll have playing it. Of course, story mode to keep you getting those stars, and there's a cute little mascot, Kira the Star, that lets you go through and beats all the zodiacs of the constellation signs.
Yeah, that's our story mode.
But we want people who love those puzzle games to play this game, and it may be, your mom, I think you said.
Yeah.
I can't remember. And then your wife wants to play it, and then of course you'd like to play it. Miggs and all of his people who love to play puzzle games, who might be really hardcore but love Super Puzzle Fighter. We love everyone to want to play this game because we feel you can pick this up and play this no matter who you are.
Yeah.
It's very accessible.
I like
And the
that.
Zodiac theme gets you a character right away. You don't have to know about drop pattern, drop intensity, whatever. It doesn't even show up by default. You can just pick the sign you were born under.
Yeah, that's great. And that's a legitimate, way of saying your mom wants to play without, being a knockdown of it.
Yeah. Well, I think girls love playing video games, and I'm sticking to that story.
No, it's true. It's true. It's absolutely true. Well, that's so great. Well, this looks fantastic, and the game is coming to Wii U this summer. Is that right?
That is correct.
Any time frame of that, or just that's more up to Nintendo than it is for you?
It's kind of up to Nintendo. We're aiming for June-ish, but we'll find out more soon, and we'll let you know when we do.
That sounds great. Well, again, thank you guys so much for the time today. I appreciate you showing off the game, and be sure to tune into Co-Optimus for more information for when Astral Breakers will be available.
All right, thanks.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.